Hi, this is Sonny Grosso here, and I'm chatting with Staxx. Make sure you tell everybody. Stay tuned.
Welcome to this episode of Chatting with Staxx. I'm your host, Bill Staxx, and today I got Sonny Grosso, the song father.
Yo,
How you doing, man?
I'm having a Staxx attack.
Thank you for joining me. I appreciate you taking the time.
Oh, it's my pleasure, brother. It's my pleasure.
We have a bunch to talk about. We're going to get into your story. You want to introduce yourself to the people?
Yeah, hello. I am Sonny Grosso, as he said, the song father. And I've been dying to get on the Staxx show.
Yeah, we're starting to pick up on numbers, and I'm starting to cover some ground.
Yeah, you'll be at 10,000 before you know it.
Yeah, I feel it coming pretty quick.
It's coming. You know,
yeah.
I love that beginning, man. The opening is nice.
Thank you.
Wow.
So where were you born and raised, Sonny?
Yeah, I was born in Manhattan. We moved to the Bronx when I was like, I don't know, maybe one. And we stayed there till my three sisters were born. And then the neighborhood started changing a little bit. And we went out to Long Island. And I was not happy. I was not happy.
No, what age did you leave?
I think I was 11. You know, but 11 in the Bronx is like 18 on Long Island. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Got all your friends, you're running around the neighborhood, right?
Right. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I used to go down the elevator at 5 years old. Of course, the world is different now, and just say goodbye to my mother and just go and hang out in the streets in the back where the playgrounds were behind the projects, or take a walk up the block. I lived on 230th and Broadway. The L went right past my bedroom. It took me I would say a good year and a half to get used to how quiet Long Island was. It was just, I couldn't sleep. It was too quiet. But
yeah, because you're used to all the commotion and the sirens and the train
and the train going by. Yeah. You know, it was amazing. You know, hang out and play downstairs. My mother would come to the window when the ice cream man came, you know, roll a couple of quarters up in a tissue and throw it out the window, and we'd have to go and catch it. And, you know, these are memories a lot of people will never have. And you know, that bothers me. Everything is so sterile right now and being watched, and you know, and then you don't want to let kids out of the house even when they're 15 years old, because it's a crazy fucking world out there.
Yeah, now it is getting.
Yeah, so I mean, I treasure those memories a lot.
So when you were a kid, what type of things were you getting into in the neighborhood?
Mostly trouble. I think you know what that's about.
Yeah.
You know, and especially there, you know, they had in the community center of the projects, they had free shop if anybody wanted to take shop. And, you know, hey, you know what? The guy shouldn't have let me in, but he let me come in and do it. And the second day, I sliced my finger open. I still got a scar on it. You can't see it. But I had to go up and show my mother went down
with the bandsaw or something. Was it the bandsaw?
Yeah.
I did the same thing.
Did you really?
Yeah.
I could have lost a finger. My mother ripped this guy to pieces. I think I was 6. He's 6 years old, and you're letting him operate a saw. What the hell is wrong with you?
So after you moved to Long Island, what's your life like out in Long Island?
The one thing that was good was the women out there on the island, you know, and, you know, everybody congregated on our block, which was great. They came from all over the place and, you know, play stickball, play box ball, kickball out in the streets and everything, and go behind the garage and get a few kisses in here and there. And, you know, it didn't take me long coming from the Bronx to have like my own little crew, you know?
Yeah. The kids accepted you pretty quick?
Pretty quick, yeah. And, you know, organized them and, you know, did some things that were, when I look back, I laugh, but, you know, but they were kind of stupid. I don't know if you remember back in the day, you used to be able to put a carnival for, I don't know, cerebral palsy or muscular dystrophy or whatever. They send you all the things in a little kit. You put on your carnival, and then you send them the money. Well, I rigged the carnival, and we were doing pretty good. me and two of my pals. You know, we had a candle like this, and you had to take the water gun and shoot it. If you shot out the candle, you won a prize. But behind the wall here was a fan, right? Like this. So as the water came, the fan would blow the water away. Nobody won a freaking thing.
Oh, so you had it all rigged from the jump.
Yep. Well, without a doubt.
That's
You
funny.
used to take a diamond, you had to like toss it, and if it landed on a little saucer, you won a prize. And I put WD-40 on it and some melted butter. So it would hit the plate like at 2 miles an hour, and it would come off the plate at like 150 miles an hour.
That's pretty smart, though. Like, for you to think of that type of stuff back then,
Right?
to get people's money is pretty ingenious.
I know. Not smart, not very Christian like, but and then
Did
one
you
day
ever
my
get caught? You ever
my
get caught
father,
doing that?
I got caught. I got caught by my father because he brought the whole family, my grandmother, aunts, uncles, everybody came. And I'm like, oh man, we're gonna make a ton of money here. Not thinking I'm screwing my own family, you know. And he was watching and he picked it up right away. So, you know, playing
Yeah, I have a
pool,
story like that. We were throwing rocks at cars off a bridge when we were young kids. Smashed the car window. It was my aunt's car. Yeah, it's my own aunt's car.
we got so much in common. When I first got my license, I said to my mother, I'll go to the store. I'll go to the store for you. She was all right, but be careful and take the car and go to Dairy Barn and get this and milk and whatever. So I go and I drive nice, perfect. I pull up. I felt like the king of the world. And get what I got to get. On the way home, I said, I'm going to stop and stick it up my cousin John's ass that I'm driving. He's not, because he was 2 years younger than me.
Yeah.
And so I pull up in front of the house and I back up and I go to hit the brake and I hit the gas by accident and I back into my aunt's car and I take off immediately. I pull into the driveway, boom, boom, boom. How'd everything go? My mother says. I said, good. You get everything? I said, got everything. You came right home, right? I'm like, yeah, of course I did. She goes, you want to hear a funny story? I said, yeah, sure, Ma. She was, Aunt Joan was on the phone with me and she was looking out the window at something. And she saw a car that looked like mine back into hers and take off. I'm like, oh my God.
Oh,
Caught, nailed.
Oh man.
It could only happen to me. What can I tell you?
Yeah, I've been in similar
And then what?
situations, taking my friend's mom's car, driving around the neighborhood, end up crashing my friend's mom's car into a snowbank. It was terrible, man.
In Skitching, you remember Skitching? On the back of the cars when it snowed out?
Yeah, just writing on the windows.
No, we would hang on to the bumper.
Oh yeah, we used to hang on the UPS trucks.
Yeah, or the buses. Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
That's another thing these kids today won't get. Even last generation, they clean up the snow too fast. So
I used to jump off roofs into the snowbanks.
Into the snowbanks, yeah, especially when they would plow it and leave these giant mountains at the end of the block,
Yeah.
Today, the kids are jumping across the Long Island Railroad and the subway trains from one to the other, and they're all dying left and right or getting crippled and silly stuff.
Yeah,
mine was
risking their life for of thrill.
For a thrill, exactly right.
Yeah.
I mean, we all need thrills in life, but be smart. Come on.
Yeah, I know some people, man. They don't think this internet is really corrupting people.
Well, TikTok is the one that really did it. All these silly things that they do, and it really escalated when TikTok came.
Tide Pods,
huh?
Tide Pods.
Oh yeah, right. What the hell is that all about? They're hanging themselves in the. They hang themselves in the
eating the Tide Pods. People are eating them.
Eating it.
Yeah.
Well, they didn't have Italian mothers then, that's for sure.
No, because they would have got a spoon of spanked right over their ass.
They used to threaten us with it. I'm gonna wash your mouth out with soap. I tell you a funny story.
I used to get hit with the spoon all the time, man.
Well, yeah. The wooden spoon.
So what's the soap story?
I was in the backyard once with my friends hanging out doing shit, We had a nice little tiny backyard, but so you're 13, 14 years old, your shit don't stink. And So every other word was fuck, you know. And I went to this fucking place. We're gonna go to the fuck. So my father comes home, and he calls me upstairs, and I go up. And I go, "What's the matter? You know, close the door. You know, close the door." The 3 words you don't want to hear as a child. And I said, "Okay." And I closed the door. He goes, "So your mother tells me that you're a big shot, hanging out with your pals and everything." I'm like, "Well, I don't know if I'm a big shot, but yeah, we have fun." He goes, "Yeah, you know, she can hear, the window's open. She can hear everything you're saying." So now my mind is like going crazy. Like, what the hell did I say? You know, did I, do something wrong? And I said, I don't know. What did I say? He goes, "Fuck." I went, "Oh, yeah, I'm sorry." He goes, "No, but you said it a lot. So you know how we're going to get it out of your system? I want you to keep saying that word until I tell you to stop." And I sounded like some kind of deranged duck if you were outside the door, because all you heard was fuck, fuck, fuck. Again, say it again, fuck, fuck, fuck. For like 5 minutes, that's all I was saying, you know, like a chicken with a lips or something, like a fuck, 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 fuck. It didn't work. It didn't work. Go downstairs. My friends are still waiting. What happened? I go, "Oh, my father, he's fucking pissed at me."
Yeah, you say it right again, right?
Right away. Yeah, exactly. But yeah,
So
and they're gone now. So
was there a lot of mob guys in the neighborhood?
not in this neighborhood. Maybe a half hour, 20 minutes away. You know, we had a lot of celebrities in the neighborhood, which is fine. We were in Hempstead, and it was, you know, a quaint little place. Hempstead was. It's not now. It's a very dangerous place, but and Telly Savalas is up the block, and Edward G. Robinson was up the block, and so you'd see limos and everything coming all the time, and it was just like, you know, hey, oh, look who's here. You know, that was it, because we were into our own thing. So
Yeah.
but yeah, later on, that's a whole different story, you know.
So where did your life take you after around 16 and moving forward? Where does your life take you?
Well, you see, it was graduated. They sent me to St. Mary's High School. It was up in Manhasset because I was too crazy with girls, they said. And so it was an all boys school. So they said, and it's run by the brothers, and that'll straighten you out. And so, I got no choice. So I went, and I'm used to having girls sitting in the next seat, and now you don't have that anymore. And it was fun. It was good. The girls' school was right across the street, so we would hook up anyway. But when I graduated from the school that was going to straighten me out, I was voted most popular, wittiest, most unpredictable, and most unique. My father sees all these awards. He goes, "Oh, good." You know what this tells me? Class clown. That's what it tells me. That what can I tell you?
Yeah, you graduated, right?
I did. I graduated. The brothers were a little tough, but I was a little tougher. And one of them pulled my hair while I was sitting at his chair, and because I was talking to some shit, I don't know. But he came and pulled my hair from behind, and it's just a reflex. But I got up and I gave him a look like a pop, and I want to take my hand back, but it's too late. I'm like, I'm in trouble now. But he goes, "We're going to go down to the principal." I said, "I figured that was coming, but then I'm going to have to tell him how you pulled my hair." "Sit down." I went, "Oh, that's how it works. All right, I got it now."
Yeah,
So
I remember back in the day, they used to be able to put their hands on you in school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I was in 8th grade, I got smacked with the yardstick, whatever. Sister St. Henry, I'll never forget it. And she left a welt on my arm. And when I went home, I told my parents. The first thing out of both their mouths, "Well, what did you do to deserve it?" And I'm like, wait, you're missing the point here. She hit me with a stick, and yeah, she's allowed to. I'm like, "Oh, I don't like this."
Yeah.
Now forget it.
My principal grabbed me by the ear and was dragging me to the office. Called my mom. Yeah. Oh man, they'll go to jail for that type of stuff.
Now they go to jail for it. Absolutely. Even the parents, you got kids calling the cops on their parents if they hit them when they came home, or they were, rude or nasty or cursed at them or whatever it was. You give them
their Xbox away. Take their Xbox away. They're calling CPS on you.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know if you ever saw that video of the father. The kid was being a real, when I say kid, he was like 17, but he was being a real dick. And he's like, yeah. And he takes his, wasn't the Xbox, the other one.
PS2. A PS3.
PS2. Takes his
Yeah.
PS2 into the driveway, puts it down, tells his mother, bring the kid out. He brings him out. And what are you doing with my PS2? He goes, watch. And he smashes it with a big hammer. Boom, boom, boom. The kid is going absolutely out of his mind crazy. You know,
Kids have hurt their parents over that, you know?
Mm-hmm.
There's kids who killed their parents for taking their
for something like that. Without a doubt. Without a doubt.
Yeah.
It's crazy. The double.
So by this time in your life, did you know what you wanted to do with your life? Did you have a plan?
Yeah, I wanted to sing. You know, I liked singing. When I first moved out there, I was an altar boy, in the church, and never made it to an altar boy anywhere else. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But and then I said, let me try out for the choir only because I wanted to be around the girls, and I made the choir, and I had a lot of fun singing, but also hanging out with the broads there. But it was great. So then, after I graduated high school, I was done. I didn't want to go anymore. It was enough. And no, you got to go to college. And so my first semester, my cum was 0.0014 because I got a D, 2 Ds, and 4 withdrawals. I would just go to school and I would sit in the parking lot of my car and sing along to the radio. Yeah.
No, I used to go to school just to socialize, you know?
Yeah, there's no socializing in college, though. Everybody's brand new. You don't know anybody. It's not like, hey, who do you have for math next year? So you already got your day or your year planned. But when you get out and start going to college, no.
Do you get a job at this point in your life?
Huh? Yeah, I worked in Friendlies. My very first job was working in a drugstore. And I was let go because I kept breaking too many things. Whatever. But then I went to Friendlies just to shut everybody up and worked my way up to be the youngest assistant manager in the history of Friendlies. But I had to quit because I went from, when I started there, I was 28 or 29 waist. And when I quit, I was a 46 waist. I was eating everything in sight, Bill. Everything in sight. Shooting the whipped cream in my mouth, cheeseburgers, this Sundays, this. For the manager, it was free. So all I do was eat all day,
Yeah.
And then we had all
that weight. Carrying all that weight is kind of strenuous on your body.
They had to order special pants for me.
Well, for the manager pants, right?
46 waist. I mean, come on.
Wow.
And it took me 60 years to get back to that. No, we had a thing going there that you used to be able to buy a half gallon in Friendlies, and it was $1.25. And everybody, for some reason, always paid $1.25. They always gave you the dollar, and they had the quarter, and they'd give it. So it was me and 2 other guys. It's always me and 2 other guys. And if they paid, we just put it aside, and then at the end of the day, we'd meet outside and whack the money up, whatever. And one day, one of the guys got caught, and he ratted me out. And so I got called down, and the manager says, we're going to have to let you go. And I go, for what? Here I am being an assistant manager, and you're firing me. And he goes, because, listen, let's just leave it. I know what you're doing. And so-and-so told me, and I said, I'm not doing anything. Last night? So we had somebody go talk to him, and then he came in and told the truth to the manager, and then I went back in. But when I hit the 46 waist, it was time to go anyway. They were calling me Fribble Face and Ice Cream Man. And
oh, man.
So, but yeah, that was cool. And then I worked as a bouncer and a bartender for about 5 or 6 years. Those were the best times,
Any crazy situations as a bouncer?
You know what? I had one fight. That was it. But I would talk. I would explain what's going to happen if this continues. And then, different from the bouncers back then, even today, I would let them stay if they behaved, because if I throw them out, they're losing business. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I would let them stay. And one guy, I let him stay, and then he started again. It was the only fight in 6 years. That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's really good.
Then I got, promoted up to a bartender, and I was damn good at it. Got to be honest with you. I just liked it. It's like being on stage when you're a bartender. And this was in, it was inside the square. So everywhere you look, there's people all around, and you're performing for them just to get your attention or telling jokes or whatever. And then we started singing there. And my old man says, I think it's time you get a real job. I said, Dad, I'm taking home like $700 a week. Back in the 70s, cash, that's a lot of money. What are you kidding?
Yeah.
I wasn't saving most of it, but it's after hours after you close up the bar, but it was good money. And so anyway, I went to work for A&P, the food stores,
Yeah.
and started as an assistant manager. I started as a receiver in the back unloading trucks and shit, kind of like the Irishman,
Did you have stuff falling off the truck and things?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, beep.
Yeah.
I'm trying to set that up now if I can. If anybody out there is working in a grocery store. Oh my God, the prices are ridiculous. They're
it's insane. It's crazy.
It's got to be somewhere illegal. I don't know. When I moved to Florida in '61, I'll get back to A&P. I moved down here in 2021, and I go to Publix and I go and buy food for the house, and I couldn't believe it. I was like, "This is Shangri-La." It was easy 60% of what I was paying up in New York. I said, "Oh, this is terrific." Go out to eat. All right, a little pricey, but nothing like up in New York. The restaurants where the prices were good. Then that friggin' pandemic hit, and they've been trying to make up all that money they lost ever since. Nobody ever stepped in and said, "Hey, whoa, you out of control with your pricing." So they just
I think it was price gouging. I think a lot of it is price gouging.
It is.
They see an opportunity and they whack the prices to get the people's money.
Yeah, without a doubt. Gas stations too.
Yeah. Some of them got in trouble for doing that, I think.
Yeah, I got a few of them in trouble myself. I got to be honest. I don't know them, so I don't hang out with them. So I'm not exactly a rat, but I was pissed that they were charging over $1 more than everybody else. So I called up to the local town from Palm Beach, and I gave them the address. And I went by, I think 3 days later, and they had those plastic fences that they put up, with the holes all the way around. You couldn't pull in or out. And I see the manager standing out there, and I go, "Good, go fuck yourself." And he was like he has no idea, but you can't do that. Then they let him reopen back to the regular price.
There's a Walgreens in my town, and they were doing a lot of shady shit. They were just, the prices were insane. They were really asshole people. So I just stopped going there. Eventually the doors closed and they moved. They left.
Yeah. Well, they got fined, Walgreens, for different places. You're supposed to have, which I learned from my days in A&P, you're supposed to have uniform pricing if you're a chain. You can go up and down a nickel, a dime, whatever it is, based on where it's located and shit. But everything is coming in at the same price for all stores. And they were, as you said, they were gouging the shit out of it. When those Squishmallows came out, people were selling them, like Costco was selling them for, say, $18, and Costco's, pretty big chain. And they were selling them for $25 and $30. And they were so big, people were paying for them, like those Stanley Cup things that are going around now.
Yeah.
But they got fined at least. But anyway, so I went with A&P. Then I got promoted from being a receiver to an assistant manager again, the youngest ever. And then I got promoted to a manager, district manager of loss prevention security. I was just good at it, at catching people. And they wanted me to go after, the kids that were eating potato chips in the back room. And no. I'd go up to them, "Guys, come here. What are you doing? Go over there. Go over here. There's a camera here. Don't do that." I went after the big guys that were going in and fleecing the company and fleecing the store managers and everything else. Yeah. And based on that, I made a lot of apprehensions. I got promoted up. And when I left, I was corporate vice president, traveling all over the country, up into Canada. And that was the best times ever. I never would have made it to New Orleans as many times as I did, or Atlanta, or even Toronto. And, and that was fun. But, I think I made over $3 million I recovered for the company. And
wow.
Yeah. And I was there for 29 years, and I averaged about 100 the rest of the year. So you do the math there. It was pretty good.
Any crazy situations on the apprehensions?
Oh, yeah. There's a few of them. I'll tell you one where I turned the tables. I'm at a store just visiting a manager down in Manhattan. It was a food emporium. And so I was just on my way walking in, and there's a whole bustle and this and that. And there was five black guys they had they were loaded with meat. So we'll gather them all up. We take it out of their pants, this and that, and we lay it out on the counter and add it all up. And at that time, this was again, it was in the 70s. It was $500 worth of meat that they had between the five of them. And so, tell the manager, call the cops. And I had this kid that I was training. When I say kid, he was older than me, but he was new to the company. I said, I'm going to have a cigarette. Stay here and make sure they don't leave, and I'll be right outside the door. And so I go outside, and I'm having a cigarette, and I got a tap in my shoulder. I turn around, and it's him. I go, what are you doing? No, I just wanted to you know how long we're going to be here? I get the fuck back inside and stay where I told you to stay. I go back in. All the meat is gone. They put it back. Now what do I do when the cops show up? So you know what I did? I said, fuck you. I went to the meat department. I just pulled out $500 worth of meat, and I laid it out. So now the cops come in, tell them there, we caught him with this. And the one guy says, that's not the meat we stole. We put that meat back. Dead, gone. So,
oh man,
yeah, stupid man.
So why'd they even put the meat back? Can it like?
Oh, because then what are you going to show the cops? What are you going to tell the cops? There's no meat. I don't know what he's talking about.
So they said, hey, let's just put the meat back. So they put it all back. Oh yeah. So it made you look
they
bad.
probably would have got away with it until he said, no, this is bullshit. That ain't the meat we stole. We put that meat back already. Oh, so you did steal meat. And you could see his face go, oh shit, and then out they went. But yeah, I had a case where up in the Bronx, the warehouse up in the Bronx for the food emporiums, Shopwell Warehouse, they were losing a lot of money in fish that was coming out of the fish department. It was a big giant warehouse. And so they asked me to check into it. I said, all right. So I did what I had to do. And I narrowed it down to two guys and put a little surveillance on them. And they were taking it to a fish store, a fish market over on Crosby Avenue in the Bronx. So, I gave it like 3 days and, tracked everything that was going on. On the fourth day, I grabbed the same kid that came out and tapped me on the shoulder. And we went there and filming the whole thing. So there could be no back ones in it. And we went in and we got him. And then we took statements and this and that. And I got that. And it was a beautiful case. I got all kinds of awards. And the FBI got involved, which I didn't like. And they wanted me to go undercover, since I'm still working there. And I said, no. I was doing this for the company. I don't do that shit. I wish you guys luck or whatever. And I think it was a week later. The other guy's name was Dominic. Dominic got fish dropped on his front step. 2 fish with a note on it. One had his son's name, one had his daughter's name. That was fucked up. And I got an octopus mailed to my house. No name or nothing on it, but it was wrapped in the same kind of paper. I'm like, what the fuck? And it turns out that we unknowingly stepped into a big thing. That's why the FBI, and nothing against them. They're good ones out there, but that's why such fucks that they are. They didn't care about me. They wanted to use me. So they would never get one of their own people to get into where I am because I knew everybody that was there. You know what I'm saying? And I'm glad I said no, but that was a message right there. And I think it was the following week the fish place blew up. So that was when it was getting time to either be promoted or retire because that's not what I signed up for. So
yeah, that's insane. So the whole theft operation went a lot deeper than you thought.
I just thought it was our guys, that worked in the warehouse trying to make a little money. I understood it. I get it. But then you have your job to do, and I had my job to do.
Yeah.
And, back in the days, even in the real world of that thing, everybody understood that,
Yeah.
These guys on this side of the street knew that these guys on that side of the street had a job to do and vice versa. There's no animosity there. There was no hatred. There was no talks about whacking or killing or whatever it is. You didn't do your job good enough, so you didn't catch us, or you did your job good enough, and we didn't do our job good enough. Now today, with everybody dropping dimes and quarters and this and that, it's no good. And, I know I get a lot of shit when I say this, but the streets are so uninhabitable right now because there are nobody out there. There is nobody watching the streets like it used to be. You know, I mean, if you go into John Gotti's neighborhood in Howard Beach there, everybody still talks about they never had a problem on the streets there because they had their own police department for real, you know?
Yeah.
So, and that was it. After that, I retired out of there. I opened my own investigation company, and I did that for a few years. And
what type of investigations do you get into? Were you catching guys cheating on their wives and things
yeah,
like
mostly domestics. You know what? But you know what made me stop it? I didn't like the fact that I was breaking up families, you know? And I'm going to be honest with you. A lot of people don't understand this, but the women cheat more than the men based on what I did, the cases that I did. It's unbelievable. You know, the guys would leave the house at 7 o'clock in the morning, and by 9:30, 10 o'clock, these women are dialed up and decked out and ready to go. And I'd follow them, this and that, and da-da-da. And 9 out of 10 times, if the guy was caught cheating and they were in a nice area like, you know, Garden City or something,
yeah,
the women wouldn't do anything because where are they going to go? You know, they're driving a Mercedes, they're living in a fucking mansion.
All the money. The guy's making all the money.
And I be honest, I can never understand that. There's a lot of things you can do to people in the world, but lying to them and cheating to them. My mother brought that up in me. There's two things I can't stand: a liar and a sneak. And you know, it stuck with me all these years. So. And then,
that's my values are the way they are. My stepfather used to tell me, like, don't tell on your friends. Like, just don't tell on your friends.
Yeah, it goes all the way back to, I think I was like 12 years old, and we had a bicycle borrowing ring that I ran with, again, two guys. And so if we saw a bicycle, you know, we'd go take it, bring it into one of our backyards, break it down, turn it into those big banana bikes with the big fork in the front and this and that, and then sell it for like $10, you know, which is nothing. We were making nothing but money. So one day I'm in the car, and my mother's taking me to the dentist, and we're going past this school. It's called Ludlam Grammar School. And there's 3 kids playing basketball on this side of the school, and they park their bikes all the way around the other side on this side instead of bringing it where they can keep an eye on it. So when we got to the dentist, my mother dropped me off. I went inside. I said, oh, can I use the phone? I forgot. I got to tell my mother something. Oh, yeah, sure. And I called my friends. I go, listen, Ludlam, go there now. There's 3 bikes there. So they go, okay, good. So I go in, the dentist does what he does, and, you know, wait for my mother to pick me up, takes me back home. And I said, all right, I'm going to get on my bike and, you know, go see my pals, you know what I'm saying? So I go to the first house, I go to Bobby's house, and the mother opens the door, closes the door. Ring the doorbell again. She goes and closes the door again. I said, you know, so my instinct said, all right, let me get out of here, because there was always something going on in that house anyway. So, but I didn't think it had anything to do with me. So then I went to Mickey's house, which was like, I don't know, 4 blocks away. And I go over there, same thing. I ring the doorbell. His mother opens the door. I said, hey, I won't say the last name. You know, hi, Mrs. Blah, blah. Is Mickey here? She goes, yeah, he's here, but he can't come to the door right now. I said, oh, well, can I wait? Can I wait here on the stoop? And she says, no, you can't wait here at all. As a matter of fact, I don't even want you here. And she closes the door. And now I said, okay, now it's me. It's personal now. And he finally, I go back home, and I'm just sitting in my room. You know, what are you going to do? And finally, I hear my mother go, hold on. You know, Sonny, Mickey's on the phone. Boom. What happened? They got caught. First thing out of my mouth. Did you mention my name? No. All right. And I hung up the phone. So it was instilled in me all the way back then, too. You know, you just don't rat. What is it going to do? How is that going to better your life? That you say, wait, Sonny called me up and told us to steal it. You still stole it. I didn't do it. You know what I'm saying?
It sounds like they did tell.
What?
Right? It sounds like your friends did tell on you.
At the very least, they told their parents that, that, you know, I was the quote unquote ringleader. You know, I used to, one day I came home from school. All these memories are coming back. It's great. And came home. I was in high school, and I come home, and I walk in the front door, and there's 3 sets of parents there with my parents. All right, so maybe they're having an afternoon cocktail. Who the hell knows? Whatever. I say hi to everybody, and I go upstairs, and my mother goes, "Wait, could you come here a minute?" Then I know I go, yeah, what? She was, whatever their last name, Mr. and Mrs. So-and-so. They're here for a reason. They want to talk to you. I'm like, okay, what's up? Have you been playing pool for money? And I go, yeah. No, not a lot of money, a quarter a game or whatever, which was a lie. But I go, yeah, a quarter a game, maybe 50 cents a game. She goes, yeah. Well, it's a little more than that, I think, because Bobby has already stolen $40 out of my wallet. And then Frankie's mother goes, and Frankie's stolen about $35 out of my wallet. And Bobby's the one that got caught. And she goes, what are you doing? Taking this money out of my wallet. I goes, I have to pay Sonny because I lost it to him in pool. I mean,
so why is that why are you getting in trouble for that? It's just a pool game and you won the money.
And I won, but you're not supposed to be doing that.
No,
the pool is supposed to be for fun. I'm like, well, I didn't learn this on my own. I didn't learn it on watching TV.